Hey, this is Jeremy with Craftsman Concrete Floors in Dallas. Today we're going to talk about the proper way to cover a polished concrete floor with a protective paper product during the construction process. Now this is pretty residential specific because we like to split these jobs up into two phases. We do the bulk of the polishing pretty early in the construction process, and we come back at the end right before the homeowner moves in to do a final polish, clean the floor, and put a stain protect down just so the customer has a pristine floor when they're moving into the house. Now this is a luxury barn dominium built by a great builder, Tony Miller up here in North Texas. He builds a bunch of these, highly recommended. We'll put a link to him in the notes here, but it's quite a large barn dominium and we've done most of the polishing already. So let's go check it out, look at what the floor looks like now, and then we'll show you the proper way to cover this thing. So as you can see, this floor has been polished. We've done the bulk of the polishing work, but by no means is it finished. It's not clean. It's gonna be more reflective when we're done. Basically, we have one more polishing step left. So we're gonna cover this floor now. That way the texture subs, the paint subs, and the trim, cabinet subs, they can all come in and they can work directly on top of the paper that we've put down so they don't have to cover it at every single step. This is really important because at the end of the job, it really just minimizes the amount of work that we have to do to turn over a clean floor to the homeowner. So as far as material goes to cover these floors, we're going to use FloorShell. It's a product very similar to Ramboard, which you can buy at big box home improvement stores like Home Depot or Lowe's. You're going to want to use something of this weight. It's designed specifically for covering floors. A lot of people want to do, a painter's paper to save money. It's just not durable enough to survive the construction process. Other materials people like to use, especially in high traffic areas, you see people put down, sheets of masonite or sheets of plywood. It's not a great idea. Covering the floor with something that heavy, it prevents the slab from curing the same way the rest of the slab would, and sometimes you can end up with some artifacts of that, like some lines and shadows where the boards were sitting. As far as tape goes to tape this together, we're going to use the FloorShell tape. Ramboard is a tape as well. This is a paper tape. It's very, very sticky, and it's gonna stay down better than something like duct tape. It is a little bit expensive, but it's definitely worth it. You're gonna have less repairs throughout the process if you use these products together. How do you cover these floors? Honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. So we're gonna do a perimeter around the entire floor. That will be something secured to the walls that we can tape to. And then we're just gonna fill the centers in. It's not difficult. It's just really crucial that it gets done properly so the floor is protected during the construction process. So as you can see, the paper was cut to size and it's slid underneath the drywall. The paper is only taped to itself, and that's really important. If you tape the paper to the floor, it's going to leave a residue, and that's going to require cleanup at the end of the job. Depending on where that cleanup is, it can be a real mess, and so it's really important to just cut this to size. The way it's secured is we're going to tape it directly to the drywall, or even if the house is at studs, we're going to tape it directly to the stud. And we're just going to do that in a couple of places around the room. The trim sub can come in here and they can trim out directly on top of this, and then we can just pull the paper out from underneath the baseboard, and it can be caulked to finish the room out. So anytime you run into a floor plug or any sort of plumbing coming out, we're just going to cut around it like this so that the paper can lay flat on the floor. Alright, so how do people screw this install up? The easiest way is just taping the paper directly to the floor. You never want to do that. It's going to leave a residue that's difficult to clean up. Other thing is you never want to cover a floor that hasn't cured for at least 28 days. This can leave lines in the floor where the paper overlaps, so you don't want to do that. Also, you never want to use a plastic material or something too heavy that can impact the curing as well. So use something that's made for this, like a ram board or a floor shell. Other things to watch out for, the floor can still be affected by liquid spills. So you don't want to have subs in here with soda. If that gets spilled and gets under the floor, that's going to cause a cleanup issue at the end of the job. Also, things like PVC primer can be a problem, as well as any kind of oil, you know, for a generator or for cutting pipe threads. So make sure subs, if they're working on top of the floor, don't have any liquids that could be spilled that could damage the floor. All right, so that's how you, dude, look, my hands are blue.
Freezing.
Blue. Anyway, that's how you, so that's how you cover a polished concrete floor. As always, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. We got new content all the time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Love you.